Good morning. It is a beautiful day today, and I hope you guys are having a good Saturday. This is my Thursday. I'm riding to work. We are on Toothless, my lowrider ST. For gear today, my Sedici gloves, my armored flannel, which is an actual riding flannel. This is an actual riding jacket with armor in it. And I'm wearing my HJC helmet. This is actually one of my favorite helmets. This style of helmet where the chin guard comes off if I want to unsnap it. It's a lighter helmet. I had a mountain bike accident when I was about 15 years old and fractured a couple of vertebrae in my neck. They healed on their own. There was no surgery required. I say a mountain bike accident. I launched a mountain bike over the side of a clay pit in Florida, trying to bridge a gap on about a 10-foot drop, and I clipped the 5-foot drop we had been landing on, and with the back tire, and it flipped me over, and I landed on my head. So I was wearing all kinds of safety gear, so I just took a bad bounce. It probably would have been a lot worse without the safety gear. It could go either way, honestly. Without the safety gear, it may have let me tuck my head a little better if I'd have been wearing more basic gear instead of the full vest and stuff like that. It probably would have allowed me to tuck my head a little bit better. And then I probably would have rolled and been completely fine, just bounced up and been like, well, that sucked. Or it would have broke my neck really bad and possibly some ribs, etc. So, don't do it. That car started to come out on me again because she didn't see me originally, or he didn't see me originally. That's why I said don't do it. But anyway, back to helmets. You got multiple different types of helmets. I guess we'll talk about helmets today. The ADHD is strong with this one. So you got multiple types of helmets for different riding styles. You got your brain buckets. In my opinion, a brain bucket is only there. It's only there to get around helmet laws. Will it do something? I'm sure it'll do something. I don't like them personally. I don't think they do a good enough job for safety. I don't agree with helmet laws. You see me wear a helmet in every one of my motorcycle videos because I do agree with helmets. I do not agree with helmet laws. I think helmet laws are the government overreaching. I think if you're an adult and you want to ride a bike without a helmet, that is your prerogative, and it should not be anything that I have to say about it. I believe you should wear a helmet. I've had two really bad accidents and one where I got clipped. Two of them without a helmet would have been very bad. One of them without a helmet would have 100% killed me. And I got up and walked away from it. And I was wearing this style of helmet that I have on from Bell. So I like this style of helmet because it's a lighter style of helmet. And that's something you got to work with. Yeah, heavier helmet is safer. A heavier helmet will be a little safer for you because it'll have more stuff in it, probably. I don't know. It's hard to say. It depends on the helmet, guys. But if you're not comfortable wearing the helmet, you're not going to wear it. So if the helmet's uncomfortable, you're going to stop wearing it. Here comes a trike. So I prefer this style of helmet. Now, this style of helmet does have drawbacks. There's no transitional lens. I really like my transitional lens on my Bell. That's why you see me wear it so much. In the winter, this is a cold helmet. It does not keep the air out as well as some of my other helmets. Again, in the winter, you'll see me go back to my Bell again. It keeps the wind out a little better. And I have two Bell helmets. I have one for my regular street riding, and I have one for street riding when I'm on my KLR. It's just a more of a adventure bike looking helmet. It looks more like a dirt bike helmet. And that dirt bike helmet look just fits the KLR better. I like wearing it. You'll also notice when I'm on the KLR, I wear different jackets and stuff like that. I fall into the whole, you know, dress to impress, I guess. If only I did that in real life. You know, so, but you got, again, multiple types of helmet. I went over the half helmet or the brain bucket. Then you have the 3/4 helmet, which would be what this would look like without the chin guard removed. Those are a safer helmet. Those are great for in-town, slow trips. They are a little bit lighter helmet because you're missing the chin guard. The downside is if you do take a spill, you have no protection on the front of your face. A lot of those helmets will have snaps to put shields on, which can be very nice, especially if you're stuck in the wintertime. But if you were like me when you started riding and you picked one up cheap from Walmart, a DOT helmet, it didn't block the bugs that were hitting me in the face. So I kind of went to a full face helmet, and that was the end of me buying anything else. Then you have a full face helmet. You have the fixed ones where the chin guard can't be removed. That's like my Bell. You have the modulars where you can flip the whole thing up. I really don't like wearing those, not because I think there's anything dangerous about the helmet, but because I'm about to pass this guy as soon as I get a chance. But because they're a heavier helmet and it puts a lot of strain on my neck and it gives me headaches. Again, if the helmet's not comfortable, you're not going to want to wear it. Yeah, I went around him a little fast, but I don't like how short distance it is and how long he was. I wanted to just get around him and be safe. I'm slowing closer down to the speed limit. He was doing 30 and 40 in a 55. So I'm not upset at him. I just wanted to explain why I decided to pass. Because I'm doing 57, 58, coasting kind of downhill, and you can see we're just putting tons of distance on him. So I passed a little bit fast. I got on it when I went around him because I just didn't want to be beside him because I was coming up on curves and I passed in a passing lane. But that's why y'all heard me get on it so hard. Where are we at? Back to helmets. Yeah, so the modulars that are open like this I don't like, and then you have the modulars like this where the chin guard comes off. With any of the modulars where the chin guard can come, whether the chin guard can come completely off or it can open in the event of a crash, that is a mechanical piece on the helmet. That is a weakness on the helmet. I don't care what anyone says, it is. You need to be aware of that when you decide what helmet to get. And then after that, we just get into styles of helmet. You know, do you want to wear something that looks more like a dirt bike helmet, which I like to wear on my adventure bike? Do you want to wear something that looks more classical? Like they have all different kinds. You get into the overall shapes of helmets. I love this helmet for short trips around town. It's light, it's easy to throw on. In the summertime, it's wonderful, it breathes well. It's a good helmet. I can wear it all year. I'll wear my neck gaiter and stuff like that. It's not my preferred helmet in the winter because in Arkansas it does get cold. But, you know, you could wear this full year round. No problems there. The lens being a solid lens, I got a clear one. I have to take the chin guard off, pop this out, pop the other lens in for when I want to ride at night. It's not that big of a deal. If you're getting one helmet, I would recommend getting a helmet that has the integrated sunshade in it. Pay a little bit extra there. Get the one with the sunshade that you can flip. There's usually a lever on the side that flips, and you'll have a sunshade come down. It flips down as glasses, or like sunglasses built into the helmet, and it's great for the summertime. One of the reasons I like riding motorcycles so much is how dark of a lens I can put on. I have to wear glasses. At the time when I got my glasses, I didn't have the money to pay for the auto transitioning lenses. So, and I didn't have money for sunglasses, and I suffer from migraines that are light sensitive. You know, my house stays dark inside. I don't go to movies because of how bright the screens are and how much noises it is. So with the motorcycles, I can close my light, I can close it off, and I can be shaded. Like, I prefer an overcast day because I don't end up with as bad of headaches. We're going all over the place. So we've kind of talked about the different styles of helmets, the shapes of helmets. Oh, one of the reasons, another thing, I don't like this helmet on long rides. On this bike, it's not a big deal. The windshield I got on it blocks the wind. It kicks it up and over my head. I start getting it right there. I have a little window down low that helps with any buffeting that I would get. But even on this bike, I don't like this on the interstate for extended periods. It's a more rounded helmet on the outside. It catches more air, so my head's fighting more air. A more oval-shaped helmet, like my Bell, goes through the air better. Life on the helmet. Lifespan on a helmet will basically depend on how you keep it. If the helmet's always outside and you're never cleaning it, and you know, it'll probably last you a couple of years. If the helmet is inside, you take good care of it, you're not leaving it outside in the heat and the temps and the fluctuations and everything, then the foam and the styrofoam inside the helmet's not going to break down as fast. You probably get 5, 6, 7, 8 years out of it before you could start looking at replacing it. Again, you'll notice when the foam starts to degrade, it's time to replace the helmet. If it's a race helmet like my race helmet, it has a tag on it that'll let you know, hey, this is no good. Guys, as much as people want to talk about how long it takes styrofoam and other foam to disintegrate, plastic and everything to disintegrate and get weak, if it's living in your cupboard, you know, go by the manufacturer date, replace it when they say to replace it. But if, what's he doing? He had his blinker on for a second. Okay, they went over. My bad. But, you know, use your discretion. I think one that's worn every now and then, like my race helmet, where I've worn it 5 times in the last 4 years, that helmet's still a brand new helmet. It's been inside, it's been in its bag, it's in a dark area where it's not getting sun, the sun's not degrading anything, the UV's not getting to it. Yeah, again, use your discretion, but to me, I'm confident wearing that helmet a lot longer. I've had it about 5 years now, and I still do not believe that helmet is any safer than my Bell helmet with the MIPS technology. Will I buy a helmet without MIPS technology? Yes, this helmet I'm wearing right now does not have MIPS. However, I do tend to look for them now. What is MIPS? MIPS is a way that the helmet reduces rotational impact. If you ever watch boxing, someone very rarely gets knocked out by a jab. They're always knocked out by the hook. That's what twists and slosh the brain around in your head. So MIPS technology takes some of the stress of that out. It helps with concussions. That's why I look for it. So we've talked roughly about the helmets as far as overall style, shape, etc. After that, we go into the safety thing. DOD, ECE, Snell certifications, etc., etc., etc. Guys, Snell's was originally designed for cars. Yes, it is a more stringent certification than DOT. Again, I personally feel like it's an older certification that needs to be updated, and they need to have one for cars and motorcycles. You know, don't hang your hat on a Snell certified helmet being necessarily more safe than a DOT helmet. DOT is considered the bare minimum. I do have DOT helmets. I wear them. Most of my helmets, if not all of them, are also ECE rated. Hey, we got motorcycles everywhere today. So I do wear them. If all you can afford is the DOT helmet, get a DOT helmet. I will never tell you not to wear a DOT helmet and then just don't wear a helmet. A DOT helmet is better than no helmet. The thing with DOT is the government leaves it up to the manufacturer to self-test and put those DOT stickers on there. And they will randomly grab stuff off the shelf and test it, and if they fail, it's a big fines. But it's left up to the manufacturer. ECE is European's version of the DOT, except for they're more stringent. It's been updated. The DOT has not been updated in forever. Basically, the DOT is, does the shell of the helmet crack if you drop it from, waist height? Did it crack? Oh, then it didn't pass DOT. Did it not crack? Cool, it did pass DOT. Guys, at the end of the day, unless somebody has a helmet that I just haven't seen recently, every helmet is styrofoam with softer foam padding around below the styrofoam, and the outside of it is some hard shell, whether that be a plastic shell, a composite shell, or carbon fiber. With the MIPS, there's something in between a layer that allows it to slip a little bit. So just visually looking at one, you can't really tell, but what I'm getting at is basically any helmet's going to pass the DOT standard, any of the newer helmets. So will pass the DOT standard with very little problems. The ECE, there's more stuff. They do more testing. They test things at angles, from my understanding, etc. They are not allowed to in-house test. They actually have to send a helmet out for testing. And that's why sometimes I believe these DOT helmets, they just don't want to send them out for testing. If a company has a lot of ECE helmets and a lot of even Snell certified helmets, then they'll probably have good certifications. Their helmets will probably be good and safe helmets. Then we go to the Snell certification, and again, that's your race stuff. They set that up. That is supposed to be one of the safest ones. I say it's supposed to be because the original intent was for race cars. And I'm on a motorcycle. It's a very different crash than a race car. So I'm not saying it's not safe, the safest. I don't know about any of them, guys. I just know what I can read, and heard. But in my personal opinion, again, buy a helmet you think looks good because you're more likely to wear it. Buy one that's comfortable, and wear it. And if all you can afford is a helmet that only has a DOT, and the reason why they're so cheap, they're cheaper, is they don't have to send it out of house for certification. They can just do a test. Yep, this one passed. Slap a sticker on it out the door. The ECE helmet in Europe It's like our DOT, only they have to send it out. So the ECE is going to be a little more expensive. The Snell is the most expensive. You have to send them out. And there's probably another one for the MotoGP guys that's probably even more expensive. And honestly, if MotoGP has their own specific requirements, those are going to be the safest helmets, because that is 100% motorcycle racing. That is 100% motorcycle racing, and those will be the safest helmets. Basically, so then we go into prices. Guys, anything above $200 on a helmet, in my opinion, at that point, you are paying for the niceties of the helmet. You're paying for the material, you're paying for the outer shell, carbon fiber, etc., etc. You can get a $100 helmet and be safe on the road. My crash at 75 miles an hour was on a Bell Bruiser helmet. I want to say I paid $150 for that helmet. I got off the pavement, I walked away. Now, I do not remember hitting the ground. I think I was knocked unconscious for a second. I had some concussion symptoms. The VA said I didn't have one, but I got into the ER and sat down and started puking and felt dizzy and puked again. And when they put me in a dark room and laid me down, the symptoms went away. So I think I had a mild concussion, or a good concussion in that situation. But again, it is what it is. It's just my personal opinion there on what happened to me. If all you can afford is a $100 helmet, please buy the $100 helmet and wear the $100 helmet. A helmet is better than no helmet. Now, the helmet I'm wearing right now was $350 to $400. A lot of that was the scheme that's around it. Apparently, this is a Call of Duty helmet. I didn't know that. I just like airplanes and World War II stuff, airplanes specifically. So that's how I ended up with this helmet. Same thing with the Bell helmet. I was an aircraft mechanic. But, you know, you get any design you want. The helmets I own right now are an ILM's, Bell, and HJC. Those are my three helmets. I have owned a... shift you guys over a little bit. I have owned a... I can't think of the name of them. They're Icon. I have owned an Icon helmet. I do like the Icon helmets. They're a little tight on my head for most cases. Cool designs, great price. They are a safe helmet as well. I've crashed in those. Sadly, that was my second bad crash. You know, but at the end of the day, it's a dynamic event. Depending on the situation, a helmet won't help you. It is what it is. I think I've come to the end of this talking about helmets. I didn't expect this to take that long. Again, guys, I'm not going to preach at you. If you're on the street, it has to be DOT certified. I'll even take it away from that. You're an adult, wear what you want to wear. If all you got is that helmet that, you know, you just want to wear a half helmet and it's not DOT, but you want to be a little safer and that's what you're wearing, cool. I'm not going to judge. You don't want to wear a helmet at all, don't wear a helmet. You're an adult. You should have the right to make your choice and your risk factors in your own life. So, anyway, guys, I'm coming to the end of this one. I don't want to ramble any longer. I love y'all. I hope y'all have a wonderful Saturday. And remember, life's an adventure. Get out there and live it.